Since I've got my test square ready for my Sheetcam, that's the next stage we're going to go to. Double-clicking on Sheetcam, now it opens up the program. Doing the same thing with it, I'm going to import a drawing. I've saved it now as a testing square, DXF. You can see it right there. As I highlight that and open it, it wants to put it in the lower left, in inches, and use the drawing name when I save it, and all of those need to be in that position. Hit OK. Now it puts the object up onto the sheet of metal. You can see its size right here. If you take your mouse to the upper left-hand corner, it tells me down here that's a 2-inch by 2-inch square. That's what I wanted. If I roll out, or in, let's roll out, pull this down in center, that's how big that square is going to be on a 4x8 sheet of metal. So I know that I'm right. If that's the wrong size, if the dimensions up in the upper corner of it are not right, then you need to take it back into Inkscape and fix it. Now there are a lot of times we end up needing to take it back into Inkscape, especially if the yellow has any white in it. If you're making a nameplate and the letters are too small, they'll show up as white, which means I can't cut this, take it back in and fix it. Be very conscious of that problem. Once I've got that, now, if everything is right here, I need to cut that. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go to Operation, Plasma Cut, and I have a series of choices here, what I'm going to do. Well, first of all, I'm going to cut that out of a different, other than what they've got on here. I'm going to select my tool. You select your outside cut first, double check, make sure that your layer is correct, and then come down here to your tool. I'm going to cut this at 45 amps on 1/4 inch steel. So I select that. That's going to feed rate at 48 inches per minute. If I'm wondering how my target voltage is, I'm just going to hit OK for this because that's all ready to cut now. It tells me where I'm going to start and what I'm going to cut last. But I was just thinking, I wonder if I've got the settings right on that. Double clicking on the tool over here tells me that my preset air pressure 68. More critically on my machine, if we go anything over 90 volts, then the tool lifts up and it screws up the cut and doesn't go all the way deep. So at that point now, I'm sure that I'm all right with that. It was set right first, so I'm just going to hit cancel. If you hit OK, then you have to go up and save the tool set. If you make any changes, I do not recommend you do that. Get somebody that knows what they're doing to make those changes rather than having the students change them themselves. Once I'm completely okay with the way it's working, then I come up here to my post processor. Now the post processor's here. Sometimes on other machines it might just appear as a capital P on the left-hand side. That's okay too. Just go to there and run the post processor. In order to do that, you need to name it as an NGC, because that's the post processor suffix we're using, as a testing square. And if I hit save, it goes through and says, oh, everything's cool. You got the part name, the outside layer, and it's complete. If you have any mistakes at all, that's where it shows up. And it will come up as red and tell you to go back and fix things. At that point, you have to take it back to Inkscape, fix the problems. If everything's okay, you're going to hit OK like that. Then you're going to close, because it just saved it as a name. You're going to close it without saving your changes, because you just saved them. It is now ready to go into the plasma cutter, and we'll address that on a different video.